Hey, everybody, welcome to the Med Legal Green Room. I am Sam Frentzas, co-founder of the Driving Force Company, and really excited to have Dr. Brian Wiley here to really talk about medical consulting, pain management. Dr. Wiley, before I give you all your credits, I want to say hi, welcome, and thank you for joining us today on the podcast.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much for having me.
My pleasure. And for those who don't know Dr. Wiley, who's a physician whose career has taken a pretty much unique and powerful turn in the world of, medical and legal consulting. You are a graduate of Howard University of Medicine. You've completed your residency at Bayfront Medical Center in St. Petersburg, Florida, and where you focus mostly on sports medicine. And from there, Dr. Wiley built a diverse clinical background spanning family practice, urgent care, pain management, to name a few. And over the years, Dr. Wiley saw firsthand how often, critical medical details are overlooked in legal cases. That's some insight there that led you to found Doctors Medical Legal Consulting, where you spent, I would say, the last several years helping attorneys get better at understanding the medicine behind their cases. And I like that phrase, the medical behind their cases. Welcome, Dr. Wiley.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. So let's get to it. I always say let's get to the steak. Let's not worry about the sizzle.
All
So,
right.
what does medical consulting or consultant do?
Well, we do a lot of things. I do mostly where I get my bread and butter is doing medical summary reports for lawyers and people kind of in the know. It's similar to a care plan, but where a care plan tells you kind of where you're going, the medical summary report kind of tells you how you got there, like as far as the accident, the injuries, what you know, what you're going to have from those injuries, kind of some of the, future problems that you're going to have for that. One of the things that kind of sets my medical summary reports apart is I do future care and cost. So I can give you an idea of what are they going to have to need in the future so you can plan for those as well. So it kind of gives you an idea of how you got there and what you're going to need in the future for what they have.
Okay. And sometimes I know we've heard this saying, right? Either you get there too early or you get there too late.
Right.
When should an attorney bring in a medical consultant into a case?
The earlier the better. Yeah, the earlier the better. That way we can kind of keep an eye on everything, get the records that we need to, get the medical summary reports. Also, we can develop medical theories for the attorneys. Like, hey, this I mean, your client's kind of he's saying this might lead to this down the line. So you might want to keep an eye on that, because this may be something that you can say, tell the insurance about and get money for in the future. So the earlier the better, because that way we can kind of keep an eye on things. We liaison with the providers that they're already seeing. That way we can, keep an eye on everything, make sure it goes in the right direction, and get all the information and to build a strong defensive case.
So nothing really sneaks up on them
Correct.
and
No
surprises them.
surprises. Yeah, no surprises.
So that's actually key in pretty much in any kind of legal defense. You
Yeah.
don't want to get blindsided in court. So then what medical damages are attorneys most likely to miss? And I think that's the key piece of this because there's only so much that they can do. Uh,
Correct.
so what are they likely to miss?
The ones that I've found, just in what I do, a lot of them are psychological. You see a lot of PTSD, a lot of, trauma, things of that nature from things that have happened to people. In a lot of times in situations that you wouldn't really think, I had a lady that actually got overdosed with some medication. And it wasn't, a car accident or crash or anything like that, but she still had some psychological depression, PTSD, things like that, that the attorney kind of, well, didn't necessarily dismiss. I don't even think they were necessarily looking for those things. But after having a conversation with her and seeing how impacted her life was because of this, Yeah, I definitely put that in the report, and they did get damages for the mental portion of it that she would have never had necessarily if, somebody wasn't necessarily had a conversation with her and was looking for something like that.
Okay. So what golden nugget of information, let's lean towards the providers now. What piece of
Mm.
advice that we can offer to a provider that's listening to this? What can that doctor learn or should be doing um, for the case, for their medical cases? What little nugget of information can you give them that they can implement today?
I would tell, I mean, honestly, the biggest thing, and it's, I mean, something that we've always been taught, listen to your patient because a lot of times they're telling you things, and sometimes we don't want to necessarily hear it. We think it's something else. We're like, oh, that's just that, blah, 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 da, 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 da. Because I've seen it on multiple occasions where, I mean, it's even gone to like people having surgery, for something that if you had just listened, they may not necessarily had it because where their pain wasn't necessarily where you believed their pain was.
Okay.
Saying, I think you have an L5, da 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 da, but they're telling you they have like SI joint pain, but you're insisting that it's a bulging disc at the L, you know what I'm saying? And then
Yes.
they get a fusion and then they still have the pain that they had from the SI joint because, we weren't necessarily listening to what our patient was telling us.
That's extremely valuable. And let's not forget our attorney friends that are watching
Correct.
and following you. What piece of information or gold nugget can you give to the attorneys that they can implement today and walk away with?
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing is if you have questions, ask. Like, I mean, I know it sounds cliche, but a lot of times, just like we don't know the law, a lot of times they don't know the medicine.
Yeah.
And, you know, say, a lot of the medicine has subtleties to it that you may not necessarily see or understand if you're not necessarily looking into it. So yeah, I would say if you have questions, ask. If you think like, hey, does that affect that? Could that do that? Hey, give me a call. Yes, it could, because that's how we develop those medical theories to tell people, yeah, they have a lot more going on than what you're seeing on the surface.
Okay, so look, people, everybody that's listening, whether you're evaluating a new claim, questioning causation, reviewing complex medical records, or preparing for trial, Dr. Wiley and his medical legal consulting team can help you navigate the medical issues with confidence. And I think that's the other key thing, going in knowing with confidence is a whole different thing because if you're not confident going in, I think the opposing counsel can fish it out
Right,
and lean on you.
right.
So look, reach out today. I want you to click the link below. Reach out today to discuss your next case. Discover how early medical analysis can strengthen your legal strategy. Trust me, it's worth the call and worth talking to Dr. Wiley. Dr. Wiley, thank you for taking the time out today. I know you're very busy with what you do, and I really appreciate you giving these nuggets of information to our listeners, our followers, our members in the Med Legal Green Room. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
My
Appreciate it.
pleasure.